Hello there. I am here with an update on the Greatbassoon, and I decided not to do this one as a live, just as a regular recorded video, which I haven't done in, actually looking back on it, it's been a couple of years. But I have made significant progress on the boot joint in the last couple of weeks. So much so that I'm actually going to complete the majority of the keywork here in the next couple of days. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces left to put on. And not counting the not the pad cups, the touch pieces. And the reason I'm not counting the touch pieces is I'm going to have those sent off to be cast so that I have good quality touch pieces for the fingers. But I thought I would show some of the mechanism that I have here on the boot joint. It is very complex. You can see there's still some stuff flopping around because I don't have some springs on here yet. And then there's a few places where I'm missing a couple parts that, like, you see that it won't do that once all the pieces are in place, but it does it right now. So there's a couple places there. But let's start on the what we call the front side. So obviously we've got 2 tone holes, just like on regular bassoon, 2 open tone holes, just like that. This is your 3rd finger right here. So, dum, dum, dum. In between 1 and 2, this is the C-sharp trill. So instead of it being above 1st finger like it is on standard bassoon, I've got it here, which is actually where most bassoon players prefer it. It's more useful there. It's not, I don't envision this being a key I'm going to use very often, but it was so simple to put in because the pad for the C-sharp is right here. All it involved was me taking this post right here and moving it from like here to here and then putting on a touch piece. I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer to put on the C-sharp trill key. So why not? In the place of where the traditional C-sharp trill key is, I've got E flat. Now, unlike bassoon, E flat is not fingered 1 and 3. It's going to be like contrabassoon, so it's going to have to have an E flat key, which is actually like pretty much every other woodwind out there, every other reed instrument, not flute. But so it's like 1, 2, and then a side key. So I've got that. And on this instrument, like a lot of contrabassoons, I've got it in multiple places. So it will be in the standard between 2 and 3 in the left hand, but I've got it here. And then just because it made sense, I put it over here, and that is going to be for the right thumb. In fact, let me take off this hand rest. It'll be a little easier to see some things. And that's not going to be the hand rest anyway. And I can take off the pen. Down here in this mess of stuff, these are going to be the 3 pinky keys. F sharp, F, and A flat. I am not even anywhere near close to their final positions, but one thing I do want you to kind of notice is how far off they are from the body of the instrument. So obviously A flat won't be up quite that far, but it's you see how everything is kind of pointed in a line outwards. That's going to follow the natural curve of the hand. And I'm going to play with, when I get the touch pieces, exactly where everything is going to go. This side is remarkably like a regular bassoon. The couple things that are missing on this side, the pad cup for the F sharp, also the pad cup for the F, and A flat, which will be right here. And those will go on here the next couple of days. Probably tomorrow I'll get the A flat on, and maybe the pad cups are the most difficult thing. You have a lot of just real finicky solder work it's difficult to do. But let's turn it over to the really complex side. This is the player side of the instrument, what we call the back of the instrument. And this side is more or less complete, minus two little parts that I'm gonna put on here. I'll probably do that tomorrow. So you'll notice it looks so much more complex than a regular bassoon, even though it does a lot of the same things. So let's start with, I've already shown you kind of this here. So again, the touch pieces are not on. 1, 2, 3. The arm for the fourth one will be here, and then the fifth one here. So there will be 5 thumb keys, kind of like on a lot of contrabassoons. So the center one, this right here, that's low E. That's the pancake key. And that key, aside from the touch piece, is in, it's ready to go. It even has the spring on it. Right above it, this is B flat. And you can see it's sprung, it's good to go. Oh, something just fell off. I'll get that later. The F sharp is mostly done, except the arm that'll hold the touch piece and the spring lever. And then the A flat key over here is done. The A flat key is probably the most complex, the thumb A flat, which I easily could have left off because a lot of bassoon players don't use this key. But in my own personal technique, I've been using it more and more. So what I'll show you is the key work here. So what you look at in the center of the screen is a pair of mini ball linkages. It transfers the motion from this rod over here to this rod. And then it's gonna go all the way around to the back of the instrument. And that will eventually lift the pad cup. And so the thumb A flat key is gonna operate the exact same tone hole as the pinky A flat. Little ingenious mechanism there, and hopefully it'll work pretty well. Now, there is one thing on the boot joint that a regular bassoon does not do. And this, I think, is my most favorite invention on here. And that is these two little arms here. So the first arm, or actually, I guess we can call it the second, you can see it is right above this pad cup here. That is F sharp. Now, on every bassoon out there, the thumb F sharp has a rocker that will close the low F, which is exactly what this does. It goes back over here and closes the low F. But the second touch right here, that is a little bit more ingenious one, because what it's connected to is not the F sharp, but it's connected to the low E. So that you can press the low E and it is going to close the low F key. And because of that, it means I can now press the thumb on the low E and my pinky is now free. It does not have to be depressed. That means if I want to go E to G sharp, I can do that. No sliding needed. E to F sharp, I can do that. No sliding needed. If I want to go, say I want to go E flat to A flat. Again, these are common notes in arpeggios. I can do that. No sliding needed. The pinky is now free. It can go over here, particularly to the G sharp. And that one, that will be really nice to have, and it will really free up the right hand technique. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to work out. And I have a feeling I may get to the point where I want that on my regular bassoon. Of course, I want lots of things on my regular bassoon. And there might be one thing coming later this year, but that's still way in early works. But keep an eye out. I might have something cool to show in a year or so on my bassoon. But that is the majority of the boot joint. It is days away from being complete with all the major parts of the keywork on it. No pads. Springs will be here. I have springs on order from Music Medic. They should be here early next week, probably. There's no felts, no corks, anything like that. That all will come at a later point. As you can hear, it's really loud and clackety. And, you know, it's like, oh, no bassoon sounds like that. Well, they do when they don't have any soft materials on them. And some of that will go away once the springs are in place. It keeps things under tension. And, of course, with, you know, felts and corks on, they're there to quiet things. But I am nearly done with the most complex joint on the Greatbassoon. It's only a matter of a couple days and this will be done. Hopefully soon, I may even be able to start playing some on it. We'll see how that goes, because getting key touches, and that's going to get cast, that may be a few months down the road, but by and large, this is the first real major update I've had on the Greatbassoon in a long time. Let me know what you think. Are you as excited as I am to actually have the Greatbassoon become a reality? I sure hope so. You know, and again, this is to me it's a science experiment. I want to see what this thing is capable of. What can it do? So that's still up in the air, whether it's even going to be a viable instrument. Who knows? It may not be. But anyway, until next time, let me know what you think.